Let's talk about identity. More of this identity work that we have to do because people are really caring to get certain things in life. I don't even want to say certain, but anything in life, achieving anything, manifesting anything. Identity is underneath that. So, what is identity? It's anything any patterns, any habits that you are one with. If you look up the word identity, the etymology of identity is oneness, sameness, the state of oneness. This matters when it comes to achieving anything, manifesting anything, because what we tell ourselves about ourselves is what we eventually believe. It is our belief system that shapes and molds our identity, and that is the thing that carries us through manifesting, through achieving. And once we get there, to manifest, which means to possess in hand, to achieve something, a relationship, a degree, a promotion, a house, a car. The identity determines whether or not we are able to sustain that manifestation, that achievement. I've spoken about this in other videos. Please feel free to go watch those videos. The patterns, the story. Let's start with the story. The story that we tell ourselves on a daily basis. Whether it is if you can or whether it is you can't. Both are true. The story that we tell ourselves about who we are to us. The narrative that we create for ourselves in our minds is what leads into how we feel about ourselves. The chemicals that go off in our bodies based off of our thoughts helps with the feeling. And eventually we turn that into motion, activity, doing that leads to us either achieving or not achieving the goal. But we end up getting something. So what I will encourage you to do is to pay attention to the story that you're telling yourself. This is the self-talk, the voice in your head. This internal voice that most times needs to be listened to and observed. And this is what meditation is for. This requires turning the TV off, turning the phone off, turning off the world, and sitting for, if you only have 5 minutes, to sit for 5 minutes with your thoughts. Either you speak them out loud or you speak them internally. Either way, you have to get to the mental first, because this is where the story starts. Things can happen around you all day long. Environment does matter. Who you hang out with and all these things, they do matter. If you take the time to be with yourself, to think and create, this is where the imagination comes in. And this is where writing and storytelling, this is why I was in film school, because when we close our eyes, this is the screen. You are the writer, you are the author, the originator. You are the actor, you are the producer, and you are the director. Neville Goddard is the individual who not created this, but had people paying attention. What's in your mind is the movie. And that is the thing that shapes the identity, the story. The story that you're telling yourself on a day-to-day basis is what will shape the patterns and the habits that you have, or that you will continue to do. And this is why it's important to turn off the TV. This is why it's important to turn off social media, meaning your entire phone. Just turn it off, or at least set it aside. And if you have to have the ringer on because you got kids, you got a husband, you have a wife, you have people that depend on you, okay, cool, understandably so. Give yourself 5 to 10 minutes a day to just be with you so that you can get to this. Everything else, if you are so consumed with everything else, the news, what's going on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whoever is doing whatever, those are the things that are going to feed you your story. It's that deep. Get in here. Everything starts in the mental. For the most part, it starts in the mental. I'm gonna bring up this book called The Kabbalion. You can find this on Amazon, somewhere on the internet. The 7 laws of the universe. One of them is called mentalism. The mind is all, the universe is mental. If you take nothing else from this video, remember this. The mind is all. The universe is mental. You are your own galaxy, your own universe. You are connected to everything that is around you, including the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, the earth. Just think of this, right? If that is so, the story that you tell yourself in here is going to display itself in your immediate environment. Take time. I know I just threw a few things at you. Take some time to get with yourself and quiet the noise outside of your mind and your body, and filter what's in here. Then you will start seeing patterns that you have been doing over time. You will start recognizing, is this mine? Is this something that I chose for myself to do? Or was this something that I got from somebody else? You will start paying attention, and especially you start paying attention to how you feel if you start with this. One more thing. And I want to connect the mind is all, the universe is mental with this quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. When you make a decision, the universe will conspire to make it happen. When I heard that quote the first time, I didn't get it. But over time, and I mean just recently, I heard this quote last year, maybe earlier this year, and I put that with the mind is all, the universe is mental, and how everything, again, as above, so below, as within, so without. Go read that Kabbalion. Go read it. That anything that's going on within me, it shows up outside of me. I'll give an example. If you have not heard my story about how I got into UCLA, I had decided, I had already been in school, been in college. I was literally at my third school, which was a film school. It was an 18-month program. I finished at 13. My 4th month into this film school, a friend of mine called me to let me know she was pregnant and that I was going to be the godmother. By this time, I had done multiple schools, and it was like a 4-year thing from the time that I was 18 to 22. Okay. At 18, my high school, my senior year, I did not get accepted into any colleges because I did not fully understand the fee waiver for applications and these things. So I did not get any acceptance letters, rejection letters. So I went through this journey of going to school. And then by this time, 4 years later, this was my 3rd school. I was on this journey. This friend called, said, "Hey, you are going to be the godmother." I said, "Great, thank you." Hung up the phone with her and told myself right then and there, I am going to go to UCLA, and that school is going to be the only school I apply to. Okay? This is the story that I had in my head, and this is what I told myself. And guess what else I did? I imagined myself being there. I kept telling myself that that was the school I was going to apply to. Do you know that people started to show up in my life right after I said this? The 4th month, by the way, was April. That's also my birthday month. Okay? And it was in the beginning of April that I told this to myself. Just a week or 2 later, I reconnect with somebody from high school. I had graduated. He was going into his 11th grade year. He asked me out. We reconnected through a couple of friends for a film that we were going to do together, right? He was attending UCLA at that time. I had no idea. It's wild. Go on and on. I'm telling other people I am going to be attending UCLA. By the way, this person that I reconnected with through film, not my film school, but through friends from high school that got us to do films together. We did 2 films together. We eventually got into a relationship a year later. And this is still during my journey, because it was a 2-year journey of me telling myself this story. I am going to get into UCLA. UCLA is the only school that I am applying to. Right? So the following year, I finished film school, and then I went on to focus on getting back into community college to transfer to UCLA. I only needed 1 year, thought I needed 2. And actually, directly after I finished the film school, I was called on a student film project on UCLA's campus. So that was exactly a year after I had made it up in my mind that I was going to go to UCLA. So, me saying I'm going to go to UCLA and telling myself this story, I wind up connecting with somebody who was already attending UCLA. I ended up doing a student film on UCLA's campus. I decided that I was going to go to a school that was connected to UCLA. Went there for to finish off my transfer to UCLA, and then got in. Again, 2-year process. So in April, when I turned literally 4 days before I turned 24 years old, I got accepted into the only school I applied to, and was in a relationship with the individual who I reconnected with that asked me out a few years prior. And he was attending UCLA at the time. The mind is all. The universe is mental. What was the other thing that I had expressed? When you make a decision, the universe will conspire to make it happen. I got into UCLA and I graduated with the diploma. One of the things that I also imagined. The story that we tell ourselves. By the way, the person that I was talking about that that me and him reconnected, we're married now with a baby. And he finished UCLA after I finished. I helped him to get through UCLA. The stories we tell ourselves matters greatly. It's mental. When you take control of your mental faculty, when you take control of the thoughts and filtrate them and tell your own story, you will find yourself around the necessary people. You will find yourself in environments that's necessary because of the story you tell. Yourself, your feelings, your actions will go after, will follow that story you are telling yourself. And all of this shapes your identity. And that's the identity that's underneath that achievement. That's underneath that manifestation, those outcomes. The major thing I would highly suggest, though, is that you are very, very, very mindful of who you allow to influence you. Because if other people are writing the story or are shaping your identity about the achievement or the outcome or the manifestation that you claim that you want to have or you want to make happen, make sure that it's something that you genuinely want to do. And that's going to require you to, again, shut everything off, quiet the world around you, and figure out what is really going on up here. That's the thing I want to leave you with. Start with the story that you're telling yourself, or the story that you allowed somebody else to tell you. And the best way to find that is for you to sit down and be quiet and allow your thoughts to come through. And to do this multiple times until you are able to create your own story. And sometimes you may have to write this out. You may have to write out your story and maybe read it over and over and over again. That's what the affirmations are for. It's more so to help you to bring that into your being as yours. It's you affirming yourself. That's a part of it. And then it becomes a part of, it is your belief system. And it sits as a belief system. But you have to Hold that for yourself and know that that's what it is for you. And once you start getting that, everything else, the feeling, the actions that leads to you being in certain environments, that leads to you connecting with people. The mind is all, the universe is mental. Once you make a decision, the universe will conspire to make it happen. Conspire. That means in spirit, they come together for you. Everything. Things will be aligned for you, just like it was for me concerning UCLA. I'm telling you. If you want to learn more about that story, I have a book on Amazon. Become Unreturnable. Breaking the habits, breaking the hidden identity loop that pulls you back to the old you. Become unreturnable. Breaking the hidden identity loops that pulls you back to the old you. Do you want to hear more of that story? Start here. Start here and create your story for you. If this has helped you in any way, please like it, share with others, leave a comment. Tell me your journey, what you got out of this. And also give me some game too, because man, let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. I strongly believe that this will help somebody. All right. Tell your story here. Take care.